My name is Joshua, and I am the Tribune. There are so many people out there who are so disappointed and so sad and have left God and have just abandoned their treasure for no reason, based off of a misunderstanding on their part. Not God's part, their part, your part. Now, this misunderstanding is that God is going to give you what you want. He's going to give you the desires of your heart. That is absolutely misunderstood, and any Christian who believes that and has tried it has found out that's not true. But the problem is they go to church and they tell you that God is just going to give you everything like Santa Claus. He's just going to just pop it out and just give it to you just because you asked for it. It's not true. What that scripture means is that God, when He's going to give you the desires of your heart, He's going to tell you what to want. Now, anybody who hears that and gets discouraged is very, very confused because they don't understand God's character. They don't understand even who God is. And actually, I'd argue that they don't know God at all. Because somebody who thinks that God doesn't know what you should want to ask Him for, it means that they don't know that He's omniscient. They don't know that He's all-powerful. They don't know that He's everywhere. They don't know anything. So this is what this video is going to be about today. It's going to be taking people's minds and putting them back on track. Because after people hear this video, they're going to want to probably pause it and go talk to God immediately. Because when God said He's going to give you the desires of your heart, He's speaking from a place of knowing what's best for you, knowing exactly what you would want if you knew that there were no limits to Him. So when you ask God for a parking space, or a dishwasher, or a car, or an apartment, or whatever, some money, you think He's just going to just give you anything. No. What you need to do is you need to go to God and say, God, I need to know what you know that I would want the most for my purpose with you that would fulfill me the most. And if He doesn't want to tell you that right away, it means that you need to get to know Him better because you can't handle it. Because what He knows that you are going to really want, it's going to take a huge, huge, huge growth in relationship with Him. And it will be worth it because you're going to partner with Him in something so amazing. So for people who are so stuck on wanting what they want, I have a question for you. What if God gave that thing to you and you weren't happy with it? And that was it. That was you asked for it, He gave it to you, and that was it. That's all. And that would change the course of your life. What if that cost you 20 years? What if that actually prolonged your purpose? What if it just actually delayed it? Now, we want it to we want our purpose to be what it's supposed to be, but we don't want to ask for things that are going to delay our purpose. We don't want to ask for things that will crush us or that are just not enough. Because the problem is that if He gives us certain things that we think we want and He knows that they're not good for us, then it wastes time, it wastes energy, and He knows it's going to lead you right back to the place you're in right now. So, can you imagine your child coming up to you and just asking for a couple of peanuts and just begging you for it? But you knew you were about to give them a full Thanksgiving meal? Can you imagine on Thanksgiving if that was even that would be so ridiculous. Well, that's what a lot of you guys are doing. A lot of us are asking God for peanuts. Small, tiny things that He's willing to throw those in, but the thing is we're asking for the wrong things. And really, What he wants to give us is a relationship with him so that everything that we need is in him. Everything that we need and could ever want is in our relationship with him. And actually, those things that we're asking for are not even the most important thing. So, when we go to God and we're trying to seek him for our life's purpose, our life's mission, and even if we have some needs and things that we want to ask for, the most important thing is to go to him and ask him what his agenda is for you. You need to know what his agenda is, because that will tell you what you should be asking for. He will explain to you what your purpose is. And you will see that many of the things you're asking for are included in the higher level mission. It's really embarrassing what Christians ask God for. It's horrifying. It's so horrifying because we ask God for things that other people, especially Satan's children, they don't need to ask for. They don't need to ask anything. They just have it. Does that make any sense? Why am I going to fast and pray for something that people aren't having to fast and pray for, and they just have it, and I'm just laying out the floor for it? Does that make any sense? We need to correct this because it's embarrassing, and it's a horrible witness. It's a horrible witness because people who hear us talking about what we're asking God for, who are not believers, and we're talking about such tiny level things, it makes God look tiny. It makes him look like the lowest of any of these other false gods out there. It's really crazy. We should be mortified. And all the pastors out there who are actually encouraging the body of Christ to ask for cars and even using references about God giving those kind of things, and that's what we're shouting over. And you have the entire auditorium just jumping and shouting over these tiny things that Satan's children have, that should be rebuked. And I have to personally rebuke that, because that is the most infuriating thing for me. Because it's infuriating to God. So, if we realize who God is through becoming a Christian, getting into relationship with him, knowing him as a coverer and a father, the best parent that you can ever imagine, ultimate wisdom, and he starts bringing us into friendship with him, then that means that we should start knowing that we really don't know what to want. We have no idea. You should be afraid to just throw out what you want to God and just ask him for off the top of your head. That you should be really, that should, no respect. That's zero respect. It's zero respect for God, and you don't love yourself if you do something like that. Which means you need to have a deeper relationship with God so that you can have respect and love for him. And also, he will show you how to love yourself, because you don't know how to love yourself when you're just throwing out all these requests that are inferior. You don't know. And this is why I'm here right now. I'm here to bring everybody higher, because we need to start asking God for the right things, especially his generals who are coming up in this era and builders. He is looking for people who are willing to believe him for things that they don't even know to want unless they talk to him. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. And I'm going to say it again because it's really important. This is something that we should be marinating on. His generals and builders need to be asking God for things that they do not know even exist unless they talk to God and spend time with him. This is what he's looking for now. Anybody who is a Christian or who even thinks they're very powerful in the Lord and does not start thinking like this as soon as possible will be overstepped. They will be moved to the side. Yeah, they'll go to heaven, but on earth they won't have the power, because he is looking for people who see him like this, because this is the time for it. So we need to know that we can trust him. If you think of this conversation you get nervous, it means you don't trust God. That's what it means. You do not trust God, and you don't know who he is. You haven't gotten to know him. That's why it makes you nervous. So you need to start getting to know God more, and then you'll learn you can trust him. I personally don't ask God for anything unless I spend time talking to him first, because I need to know his agenda. I'll ask way too small. Even my biggest thought, which even could be bigger than most people, is tiny to him. I'm not even comparing myself. I don't want to compare myself to me or what I would ask, and I'm not comparing myself to even the highest level person on earth right now. Because that person, whoever that person is foolishness compared to what God's thinking. And this is how we need to think as builders and as generals. It's really important. So if we really trust God, we will know that he has our best interest at heart. And if we really know him, we will know how awesome he really is. So we really don't want to ask for anything without checking in with him. And really, we don't need to ask for anything. That's now, this is a whole other thing. Why do I need to ask something from a God who already knows everything? Why do I need to go I don't need to go beg him for anything. He already knows. He already has the agenda. All I need to do is to ask for clarity, ask for wisdom, so I can stay in rhythm with him as he performs what he's trying to accomplish in my life. And all I need to do is move forward in him with complete understanding as much as I can. That's really all we should be praying for. Because if we're doing that and moving in rhythm and step with him, then that means that everything he wants to do through us and for us in our purpose with him will be accomplished. So this is what it means when he said he will give you the desires of your heart. He will not be Santa Claus and throw you out, a couple of raisins and just because you asked for them. Or you just want a bag of rocks. You just says, please give me a bag of rocks, and he just gives them to you, and you're going to just jump out and shout and fall on the floor. No, that's not what that means. What it means is we need to go seek him. We need to seek him in relationship. We need to become his friend. And so as we become friends with him, he will change our heart to come higher and know what he really wants for us, which is beyond anything you could ever imagine. And it has the ultimate fulfillment, not only for you, but everybody around you. When you receive what God has for you, everybody around you should be astounded. Everybody around you, their life should be transformed. Not just you. And please don't think about a car or anything else like that. Or a trip. I want to go to Switzerland. And everybody's going to come with me. No. Oh, that's just so great. No, it's not. That's not what I'm even talking about. That's not what he's talking about. That trip's included. Let him bring your heart up. Bring your heart higher. And you will be very satisfied with this. And you will know he has the best interest for me and for everybody around. And then through that process, you will make him very pleased, because he will be able to use you to accomplish his mission, which is very, very lofty. People who are creating with God, and are especially creative people, need to hear this message very, very well. because it will be impossible for you to even create one of the smallest things with God without checking in with Him first and getting to know Him so you know what He's asking you to create in partnership with Him. This is essential. This is one of the keys. So anytime you hear somebody telling you that God's going to just give you what you want, and He's just going to give you the desires of your heart, and you could just treat Him like Santa Claus, you should rebuke that. Cast it out of your mind as soon as possible. Because that's not what it means. It means something way greater. Align your heart with His, and you can't lose. Hail Jehovah.